I said, is it Speedy from the 9? And you corrected me. You said the 9. All right, so Speedy from the 9.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But your shirt says
The 9.
the 9 on it, right? Walk me through, if you had to give yourself like a 2-sentence introduction, who is Speedy? If you don't mind moving the mic a little closer to you. Yeah. Go ahead.
So I would just say that I'm a first off content creator from the 209 that's just out here trying to uplift and support my community in any type of way I can, whether that be through music or that be through exposing what goes on through my videos.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm very glad to have you on the show. I've seen your content all over the place, bro. Like to the point where it's I don't want to say this in a bad way. It's inescapable. Yeah. There's nowhere you can go. You don't even have to follow yourself to see it, right? I follow a lot of people out here in the 209. And I was like, man, like I see this Speedy guy everywhere. So I hit you with a follow. I really appreciate how much love you show the 209. So on this show, what I like to do, bro, is I like to go from the beginning all the way back, right? Try to learn about who you are, how you got to this point. Are you from the 209 or where you from?
Yeah, bro. So I'm from the 209. I was born in Modesto. And then I'm like a lot of other people, you know, my parents split apart. So I had a dad in Modesto and then my mom moved to Ceres. And I just got to enjoy both of those different cities, whether it be in Southside Modesto with, you know, kind of the more rougher, tougher, thuggish people, or be in Ceres around some more maintained and, you know, like.
Maintained is a good word. I never heard it put like that, but I got you.
You know what I mean? And, it gave me the ability to see both worlds for what it was and then transition between the two. So, yeah, I am from Modesto, but I also did my schooling in Ceres, you know?
It's funny how I always find a way to relate to every guest I have on the show, which I think is what I love the most about this. Like, I come from a divorced family as well. And my mom is from Modesto. My dad is from San Jose. I mean, they're both from San Jose. But the point I'm getting to is like, when they moved, my mom lived out here in the 209, and I grew up in Tracy.
Okay.
My dad's always stayed in San Jose, right?
Yeah.
I was born and raised out here. I come out here, and I have friends who are like, bro, you're from Tracy, right? My family's like, you're from San Jose. So I'm curious. Modesto and Ceres are both 209, right?
Yeah.
How much did, if you don't have to talk about this if you don't want to, but how did your parents' divorce like shape you?
It honestly made me stronger, bro. I was fortunate enough to have a stepdad, and my stepdad and my dad are almost best friends, I would say. My dad comes over to my house every single day. They kick it. Anytime there's a function, everybody's pitching in, whether that be on my dad's side or my mom's side. They all come together to.
That's hella cool.
And my little brother even actually goes with my dad without me sometimes on fishing trips and stuff, because that's the type of connection they have and the bond that my dad has created with my family, and that the bond that my stepdad allows my dad to have it with our family. So it was never nothing that was ever conflicting. It was actually, it brought us all together, and it made us stronger as a family.
That is such a unique story.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really hear about like dads and stepdads getting along, bro.
No, yeah, and it would definitely trip out some people when I have like a music concert at school. My mom can't make it, but then my stepdad and my dad are there, and they're sitting together, and they're like, "Who's that?" My dad. "Who's that?" My stepdad. "Oh, what?" Yeah, guess what? They're friends, and that's also helped me make friends in life too, and realize, you know, just because it's supposed to be this way, nah, it could be this way too. It's all about your perspective on things, you know?
Right there, bro. When you say it's supposed to be one way, okay, just because it's supposed to be doesn't mean it's impossible to be the other way. What quality do you feel like you took away from that situation?
Like having compassion, understanding one another. I can, without getting too deep, I know my dad wouldn't mind, but I could say my dad was in a dark place at the time, and he did suffer, you know, some drug use and whatnot, but everybody understood that wasn't him, and that my dad had a potential and way greater than he was at the time. And I'm just fortunate enough, like I said, to have that type of family that understood, hey, he's just going through some stuff, and when he comes out of it, he's still going to be here, and we got to learn how to move forward from all of this. Even though some stuff might have happened, you know, it was really strengthening to see my family come together and pick up my dad, or even my dad pick us up in times, you know, like that's what really, really brought us all together, was like being able to sit down with everyone at the table and have a Thanksgiving dinner, have a Christmas, and there's no conflict, no nothing, you know?
Right. The world needs a lot more of that.
Yeah.
You know
I would say that most definitely, yeah.
And if this is why stuff like this is necessary out here in the 209, bro. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about getting stories out there, right? Like seeing your content, and then now the people being able to hear not only like where you come from, but the struggles of your father, your stepfather, your family, man. Like, tell me at what age? Because now I'm moving forward a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
If you can briefly tell me what age the divorce was, and then what age you discovered your creative side.
So I would say, first off, I was born in 2000. I'm a 2000s baby.
Okay.
So
I'm old now. So
yeah. So I would say it was around like 2003, 2004. Actually, my parents had split up like while I was born and stuff. They weren't together.
Okay.
They just, happened by fate to have me, and then here I was, and then my dad was going through his thing, so my mom knew to separate, and she was never the type of person to take custody or do nothing like that. She made sure my dad could still see me, and it was around like 2003, 2004 when my dad got clean. Now, when I got creative, I would say that was my freshman year in high school. There was
So 2014, I'm assuming.
Yeah, probably 2014, 2015. I'm coming in as a freshman. I was very popular in middle school, so it was easy for me to get into high school. And being around certain crowds, I found myself with somewhat of the creative people, the rappers of the school, the more like sometimes even filmmakers and stuff.
Right.
And I just so happened to be thrown in some rap battles where hey man, somebody was capping on me and I needed to figure out how to
fire back.
Yeah, and that's just where it all started, bro. I was in freestyle rap battles and maintained a little name for myself through the school. I never thought it was gonna be serious, never thought nothing of it. And then I started school at State in 2019.
Okay. Well, hold on real quick before you get to that.
Yeah.
I gotta know, was it always Speedy from the jump? Like
Nah.
Is that later in the story?
Yeah, bro.
Okay,
Yes,
gotcha.
that's definitely way later. So I didn't even have a name. I didn't have nothing. I actually used to call myself Big Okie.
Big Okie.
Big Okie, yeah. Because
I like that.
I was also around, like, being from series around country kids and
yeah, I was about to say, like, that makes a lot of sense, like, out there.
Yeah, and I'm, like, freestyle rap battling in boots. And, and, like...
I should have worn my boots.
No, for real. And so, like, I would call myself Big Okie. I started a YouTube page where we did, like, funny stuff, bro, comedic stuff, riding dirt bikes, dance battles at school in the middle of class and stuff like that. That's how I really started in high school, was my YouTube career, trying to figure out who I was going to be as a content creator. I never once envisioned myself doing music. Man,
so you didn't envision yourself doing music, but in 2014, 2015, your freshman year of high school, you freestyle battle. One thing I want to ask about your mentality, like you said they were capping on you, like people telling lies on you. Like, what made you say, I have to respond to this? Because technically speaking, you don't have to respond, right? So what made you say, I want to respond?
So I know he gonna watch this and probably laugh, but being the person that I am, I can say my family is very diverse. And the fact that we got Mexican people, we got black people, we got Asians, Samoans, everything in my family. So when I was in high school, I was being taken care of by my black family, and my cousin Tyree would tell me, hey, bro, you got to level up. You got to do this. And he would actually be doing the rap battles too. And that's how we all got into it, bro. He was just like, hey, I'm going to kind of show you a couple things of how to rap. And yeah, he put me on, bro. I'm going to really say, like, now that I look at it like that, like my cousin Tyree and being around him and my other cousin Trenton, we just did it for fun, bro. And now my cousin Trenton raps and Tyree does his thing. And it's funny to sit here and look back on it like that, because I've never really gave myself the time to look back on it like that.
To think about the journey like that, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you said that you never saw yourself making music. Was it from that moment on you started making music, or how did that progress?
No, so yeah. I was at State, bro, and I'm sitting there in the business the business side of school, you know, and people are walking around in suits and we're doing a lot of math and all this stuff. And I did literally one summer semester and I knew this wasn't for me. I knew business was what I wanted to do. Maybe it could lead me somewhere, but it was not what I needed to do, like as far as book work and stuff. No, that was not my plan. So I went to MJC. Someone had told me you should do live audio recording because I always wanted to be a radio host.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I felt like I have a personality. Hey, I could tell the news. I could maybe do sports broadcasting or something. So I did live audio engineering at MJC. And while there, this is funny to say too now that I think about it. But while there, my first song ever was with some Indian cat. Because I felt like at the time, you know, you hear the Indian songs at the parties and stuff. I'm like, bro, they're turning up. Of course, I'm gonna get on a track with you. So,
hey, bro, they got slaps.
No, yeah,
I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah, so my first song was with the Indian cat, and then we did it at a music thing they were having there, an event, and I just kind of felt like, you know, if I have the opportunity, I'm going to try to be the next person in the 8, you know, the 209 that's going to rap about something real, rap about my real life. And in that same year at MJC, I had lost my uncle.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And being a young kid, bro, thank you for saying that. But being a young kid, bro, I had no way to cope with it. I'll be
like 19 years old?
Yeah, 19, exactly. So I'll be honest with you to say that, you know, I coped with alcohol and I coped with drugs at the time. Yeah. And that was not the way out. Where I felt most comfortable and where I felt like I was really grinding was in the stew and letting my feelings be known there and expressing myself through music.
Right.
That's what really attached me to this whole music thing. And then seeing after, okay, I could touch so many lives, just so many people connect with me on a different type of level that I don't need to be the next rapper that's talking about my enemies or giving clout to a certain type side of town or even a certain gang. No, that was never me. I never wanted to do that. I wanted to be more of make a connection with you and let my lyrics last forever through that type of way, you know?
I not only do I know that, like, I feel that to my core. I will say I differ in the fact of, like, now I'm by no means, like, in a gang, right?
Yeah.
Never try to say, yo, like, this person in my family can do this, that, and the other for me. Like, but with that being said, like, I do talk a lot about, especially recently, like, my enemies and things of that nature, right? You strike me as somebody who's been through a lot, but through the qualities of, like, maybe your mentors, right? Your cousins, your dad, your stepfather, I don't want to say, like, quieted that voice, but that anger could have easily been within you and you let it out through your music. What I want to know is when you first got back in the booth, right? When you made a song with your homie, like, what was the emotion that you felt? Was it like sadness, anger, and like what motivated that?
Well, I'll say it was a mix of emotions. If I'm gonna be 100 with you, there's time, like the first couple songs, bro, it took a lot. You know, I would sit there and write lyrics and cry. And then try to say them and
do it.
Literally crying. There's some tracks, if you know happen to have the time, you go listen to it, you'll hear it in my voice. You could, and I didn't know how to be better or do better, so I left it there. And I look at it now and say, like, that was good of me to do that because the raw emotion is there. You can honestly feel what I'm saying and you can hear it in my voice. Some of the things were tough for me to say. Some of them were hard for me to say. But after, that feeling was so peaceful to sit there and say, that's the song I did. It's over with. Let me close that chapter. And maybe not even close it forever, but just for this time, close that chapter and let's move on to the next. And, you know, the way life goes, you're always going to have a curveball. You're always going to have an up and you're always going to have a down. So for me, it's expressing myself in any way, the ups, the downs, the bad, the good. You know, I just enjoy being there and it gives me some tranquility to be able to pass any type of message that I'm passing on through my music, you know?
That's facts, bro. Like, do you ever find it like difficult to not like write the stuff, but keep it in the song? Like, do you ever find yourself saying, okay, I can't put that in there. That's too personal? Or
I don't really put up a boundary like that. I really don't. I feel like
totally free.
Yeah, most of my people, if you caught me on a Saturday hanging out at the park, I would tell you the same thing I would tell you in my song. It's nothing I would hold back, and that's only because I'm a true believer that most of the time, bro, that same person that's judging you is going through the same thing, and if not, they've already went through that and they didn't know how to cope right. And maybe sitting here and being able to give your testimony or give your side will resonate with them and show them, hey, people overcome and people have a way of, dealing with this stuff. And that's why I've never been one to hold back at all.
Okay. You are anyone, I'm sure you get this a lot. Anyone ever tell you like you're very wise for your age?
Hey, I got to give credit to my pops, man. My pops, he was around a lot of older people around, and he never let me go out. And my dad would be like, hey, it's 11 o'clock. What are you doing, man? At 12, nothing good happens after 12. Get home. And a lot of my mentors and a lot of my people, like, they're older cats. And I don't want to sound like I was crazy, but I've lived a crazy life since I was young. So I've already known, I've already seen where you can go.
It all.
Yeah, and I just like to take it day by day and try to be mindful of consequences. And I don't like to try to do too much, bro.
Right, and I respect that.
Yeah.
So let's go back into like kind of the brand that you're wearing on your shirt, the 9, right? So where does Speedy come in? Like, where do you get the name Speedy and why?
So, Speedy from the 9, that came from, I was actually with a local producer. I do films with him now. His name is Duneworth. We shoot movies. We shoot short series.
You said Duneworth?
Duneworth. Yeah.
Shout out Duneworth,
man. So I'm sitting in the stew one day with Dune, and he probably don't even know this either, but we're sitting there going over names because I have a couple songs set up, and he's just like, bro, what do you want to call yourself? Like, you're so fast about everything you do, this and that. And I was like, bro, why not say Speedy? And I'm like, bro, Speedy in the 209. Like, Speedy, trying to get it out.
Speedy in the 209,
and then we kind of both had a moment where I said, Speedy from the 9, and he goes, bro, that rolls off the tongue so good. Speedy from the 9, and I said, should I just rock with it? And yeah, I rocked with it ever since then, bro. And like I said before, I'll call myself Big Okie, or even like I'll call myself Overdosed and have different names. And I felt like that never fit my persona. Now I feel like that was the perfect choice,
Okay, so Speedy comes from the fact that you work so quick.
Yeah, and it also, what it really, really came from was in football. I was running 5.65 40-yard dash. Yeah, and I'm a lineman, bro. And high school, bro, I was 300 pounds. So to do that,
you're the fastest 300-pound man alive.
I would line up on the line and I'll say the Lightning McQueen's line, I am Speed, and I'll try to intimidate the other guys. So then I just told him, yeah, I really want to call myself Speed because a lot of people are already calling me Speed from high school because of what I say. Right. And he's like, nah, Speedy. And then, like I said, it just rolled off the tongue one day, and we're like, yeah, that's it, lock it in.
That is the one. I will say it is catchy. I was just saying off camera, like, I thought it was Speedy from the 9, but you're saying Speedy from the 9.
Yeah.
You gotta say it fast, like, exactly like that, which is ironic. So what year did you get that name?
About 2020.
2020. Okay, so 2019 is when you drop out of Stan State, right? You go to MJC and you discover your homie. You say your India homie, right? And you make your first song. Right.
Shout out Harpender. Yeah.
Harpender. Yeah. Right? And then how do you meet Dune?
I meet Dune through like I was already just trying to do the film stuff, and I was like telling one of my boys who owned a tattoo shop, I said, hey man, I want to be able to find a place where I could shoot videos. And he says, hey, come check out this place. Shout out MFH Tattoo. And he's like,
MFH.
He's like, hey, man, come through and check out my car lot. He had old school cars parked where he would fix them. And he's like, a lot of rappers come through. He goes, if you come on this day at this time, there's going to be a producer here shooting a music video. And he's like, I think that'd be like your first get in, your perfect opportunity to come out here and try something. And that was Duneworth. Duneworth was there shooting a video for 50 Sosa from Patterson. And like me and 50 Sosa are making music now, and me and Duneworth are making films. And that was the first actual like being able to watch a director do his thing, and also having an artist support me and tell me to keep on going. And even from 2020, I felt like I was doing things a lot different than people,
Right. No, I mean, bro, so 2020, you meet Dune, right? And do you feel like that is the moment where you say, okay, like, I'm gonna turn this into a movement, or when did that moment come for you?
Nah, bro. So at that point, I still didn't even have like I was one of those people that put out music and did what I did, but like I didn't have confidence, bro. I knew it was different and I knew I was feeling myself, but like I knew it wasn't there yet.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
What do you feel like was missing?
I just needed to learn. I needed to learn how to do, like, I was still in my first year of college. I wasn't even like Pro Tools certified. I wasn't even knowing how to do like basic things on Logic Pro. So now I use Logic Pro, by the way, but I knew like I needed to better my audio and better my effects and things of that nature. And it was all just like a trial run for me. Even my first album was just friends getting together and seeing what we could do with what we had, you know?
Yeah. Bro, this fly, I'm sorry.
Nah,
this
you're good. You're good.
I'm not doing this because you're like, surprised me, which you are surprised me, by the way. But just like, I'm like, dude, this fly gotta go away. So, how long do you feel like it takes you from 2020 to when do you feel like you get your footing?
I would say probably it was in that next year. So 2021, I just started eating, bro. Like,
but during the pandemic.
Yeah, the pandemic was actually what made me, you know, hey, bro, YouTube University, man. Sitting there just doing everything I could to soak up game any way I could, whether that be from rapper interviews, trying to maintain my image on my performance image on stage, or even just sitting down watching hours and hours and hours of videos about Logic Pro and how I can indulge in that and try to make myself better. And once I felt confident enough to bring my friends in the mix, I knew I couldn't let them sound bad. So I had to step it up for all of us. And when I started working with Trizzy 209, aka Dizzy Trizzy, that's one of my best friends. That's when
shout out Dizzy.
Yeah, that's when we felt confident, and that's when we knew, okay, at least I knew, like, hey, bro, this is gonna be what I do for a long time.
Okay, and this is what, like, you said 2021,
yeah,
right?
2021, 2022, and then after that, bro, I just kept making bangers, you know, just at least in my eyes, bangers, you know.
Yeah, I feel like you know and meet so many people. All right, help me out, right? I personally need the advice. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of people might relate to this. Just because you meet somebody doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to start collaborating with somebody, or that you're going to work with them, or that they're even going to like fuck with you. Like, what is your secret, bro? Like, how do you get people? I don't want to say get as in like it's manipulation, but like, how are you so not only connected, but how do you connect? You feel me?
I just say, first off, got to be yourself, man. If you're not yourself, people will see right through that. You know, and then also you can't take stuff personally. I really truly believe people are here for a season and they're here for a reason.
Right.
So you might figure out that reason before the season's over, but guess what? That's what they were here for. And like I said, you can't take it personally, because sometimes this game ain't for everyone. Sometimes people can't be on the consistency like you, or even match your grind, and just that's not on you, you know. It's really on them, and you can't take it personally if they want to pivot and do something else, or even want to quit. You know, you just got to keep doing you. Don't let it knock off your grind. Don't let it block your shine, and also don't respond with hate. You know, hate doesn't bring you nothing good, bro. And
I needed to hear that.
You know, like, sometimes you can. You're allowed to be mad, and it's okay to be mad and have your feelings, but at the same time, the whole world don't need to hear it. Instagram don't need to hear it. You guys could hey, quietly, see you later, bro. You know, and it took me a long time to come to that type of thinking, bro. I'll tell you straight up. Like, I've been a crazy person for a little bit of time, and I just realized, like, hey, man, you know, at the end of the day, I'm still gonna be here tomorrow, and I gotta keep pushing, man.
That's facts. I have a scenario for you, okay? Because I agree with I have a problem with not taking it personal, but not with what you said, right? Like, if you're working with somebody and it doesn't work out, like maybe they're not putting in enough effort, like, it sucks and it hurts, but I don't take it personally. You know, I have a scenario for you. I want to know how you'd handle this, right? Because you strike me as a very level-headed person, and anyone who's watching me knows I'm level-headed when it comes to conversation, but like when it comes to confrontation, like if I gotta take it there, I'll take it there, right? Scenario for you. I'm gonna give you a random homie's name, okay? Gunther. Whitest name I can think of, all right? All right, you got a homie. He goes by Gunther, okay? You and him made a couple songs, okay? he goes behind your back to try to, you guys are supposed to like do the same show. He goes behind your back to tell the promoter, hey, take Speedy off. Like, he does that behind your back. And to your face, he's telling you he fucks with you. But then to everyone else, he's like, I don't like Speedy. I hate the way he dresses. I think he's fake. I think he does everything for attention. Like, that is personal. By definition, that's personal. Right? So how do you respond to something like that?
I think that their actions define their character, bro. And it's not only you that sees that, but guess who else sees that? Everybody on the show, everybody lined up. And maybe they don't see it now, but there is going to be one day where, trust me, I take stuff personal and it hurts me the most when I can't tell my side of the story. But hey, man.
I feel that.
You know what I mean? Hey, man, guess what? Someone somewhere also knows my character and that I would never be the type of person to do something out of line like that. And my response to that would just be, you know, like I said, sometimes they're here for a season, sometimes they're here for a reason. But that reason right there was to show you, hey, this person is this, and maybe, at least from my perspective, that's what made me slow down on really taking people 100% serious, you know, and just maybe realize, hey, this guy found an opportunity to eat for himself, or whatever he thought he had in his head, it's all for himself, bro. And you know, there's another crowd out there waiting for you to
just gotta keep it pushing.
There's another crowd waiting to be just like you and do what you're doing and have the same mentality like you, and another crowd that wouldn't do that, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
It's funny, man, because at the top of this year, that's not how I was moving. At the top of this year, I was like, I'm responding on a track, like, instantly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say everything I feel. But more recently, I'm talking like the last 2 months, I'm like, kind of like you said, it's like, so what? You know, like you said, even if it is personal, in a sense, it's not, because people kind of project their insecurities onto you.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Do you deal with situations like that?
Yeah, bro, all the time, man. And I hate to say it like this, but like, I'm a nice person, 100%, but I also have no problem cutting people off. You know, especially.
Do you say something when you cut somebody off or not?
It does depend. You know, okay. if they question it or whatever, I'll say, I'm not a type of person beat around the bush either. I'll say, hey man, I didn't like how this happened. You know, I do my things this way, and you just showed me you don't align with my morals and you don't align with what I got going for me. I'm sorry, but you know, you got to take a break from me. Maybe one day we'll come back together. Maybe, you know, I'm not trying to be like, oh, you got to be on my side, but yeah, sometimes.
Bro, I feel like I should have met you when I was like, this is going to sound crazy, but when you were 19, I was 25. Okay. I was not this wise at 25, bro. I made the biggest mistake. I don't want to say the biggest mistake, but like, I was the kind of person where I got hurt and I would say something. I would respond. When the pandemic hit, everyone started making podcasts, right? And at the time I had a podcast and I said some just corny shit about my ex, bro. And looking back, that shit makes me cringe. Like, for real. Like, and I'm not trying to say that to like sound good to my ex. I'm saying that like, bro, if you really love somebody, loved at any capacity, right? Like, why would you shine a negative? Like, that said more about me than it did about that person. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, bro. Hey, I feel you 100% on that type of subject, bro. Only because, you know, it's not a diss track or nothing, but I made one song and...
you mind putting the mic a little closer to you? Yeah. Go. You said you made one song.
I made one song and instantly my ex knew it was about her. This is after we broke up. You know, I made a song, whatever. And instantly she knew it was about her. And do I have regrets of that? No. But at the same time, bro, I like to tell people, you know... look at you, and I don't know who your ex is, but maybe look at her and see where did that position take you? And if you wouldn't have done that, would you have had the confidence to keep on and doing what you were doing?
Right.
After I did that, bro, I had the confidence really to just, you know what I mean? Hey, it's already out there. What's she gonna do? You know, and like I said, I've changed over the years. I would never do that again.
Right.
But the song is still there and it's still out, and I have zero regrets about it.
See, music, I don't regret as much. There's only 2 songs where I've like regret. I'm like, I can't believe I did that. So I changed them recently. They're out on Spotify. And I'm not gonna plug my own shit. But my point is like, for me, music is a little different. If you do it like intelligently, or like vaguely. You don't really say names. You're not too specific with the details. This could be about anybody.
Yeah.
You know, unless it's like an actual full-blown diss track, that's obvious. That's obvious.
Yeah.
But saying something on a podcast where there's no beat here, right? There's nothing for this other than entertainment, right? It's classified as entertainment. So you outing somebody's business the way I did, that was some corny shit, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause that was none of my business to speak on. Even if that was my ex, they're not my current partner. And even if that was my current partner, like, why the fuck would I go out of my way? Do you ever see podcasts where like someone's wife has a podcast and they just start saying the craziest?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, like, that's your life. Tell your story. But the way that you're making your partner, and this is about women, it's about everyone, the way you're making your partner look is crazy. So my question for you, you say you have no regrets in terms of your music. Content creation at all.
Mm.
Do you have any regrets or anything you're like, man, I wish I could have done this differently, anything like that at all?
In life, you're saying?
No, in content.
In content wise, bro, yeah, like my whole first album, to be real with you, I didn't even like think about having a studio. So I did everything from my laptop with the mic, and there was no studio monitors. There was nothing to really level music.
Right.
The one regret I have like towards my music is just my whole first album, I didn't level anything.
No EQ,
nothing, bro. So some of the beats are really loud and then the voices are really soft, or some of them the voices are really loud, and I felt like that the group of people I had at that time, if that could have been good and like sound wise, then we would have had a solid group and we would have been able to keep on pushing in this rap game. But that's all because I was inexperienced and just first year into music, not really even knowing how to do anything and taking the whole burden on myself. You know, some people had lives, bro, where they're working and couldn't make it to the studio to listen to it. And I just push it out. Hey, that's a song. Get it done. We're out. And now I look at it and I try to take it more professionally. Hey, we're going to listen to this 100 times before it goes out. I'm going to listen to everything, have my loudness meters on, everything I could utilize inside that DAW and make sure that it's 100% before I...
That's facts.
You know what I mean? That's one of the only regrets. As far as like making moves and stuff, nah, bro. I think everything I did was just making my next step.
To learn from it.
Yeah.
So then, speaking of next steps, last time we left off, 2021, where does the 9 come in?
Okay, so there's a guy, Jesse James. He represents the 9. He actually started it with Wicked Point out of Modesto. He made the song My City. I don't know if you ever heard it. Modesto, I can't even remember the hook right now. But yeah, so he made My City, and I knew like, okay, these guys got motion. They may be in a different type of like subculture than I am or subcategory. Right. But Jesse actually noticed me and he said, hey, the brand is getting a lot of exposure that we don't really want it to get. It's going in one direction, but we want it to go another
different direction.
Yeah. And he's like, would you want to just hop on and maybe start? He didn't take it like nothing was 100% sure. He's just like, hey, would you take a shirt and rock it one day, whatever? Yeah, bro. And then I was like, you know how much potential there is here? I could take these shirts to the events with me. I could start doing this and doing that. And that's what really solidified our relationship, was just the mutual benefit we got from each other, and it's still here today. We're still doing our thing. It's the 9, baby. You know what I mean? Yeah. We out here being some 9 babies. And if you guys don't know, the 9 is it encompasses the whole 209 area. We also got people from Fresno because it ends with the 9. We got people from Louisiana, the 9th Ward.
Okay.
The 9. You feel me?
Saying,
so it's used everywhere, bro. And it's gonna be a worldwide brand. I'll say that right now. If you haven't, if you guys are watching and you haven't gone and got a 9 shirt or a 9 hat, you're gonna want to do it now, because by next year, I'm telling you, this is gonna take off. And
where can people get one?
You can hit me up directly on Instagram. You can also hit up Jesse James. We're working on a website right now, but really, we do a lot of shipping. So if you need it, you should tap in through Instagram.
For sure, bro. Like, so what year did you meet Jesse?
This year.
This year?
This summer.
Okay, so I feel like we fast forwarded a little too much.
Yeah.
2021, 2025. What is that story?
From 21 to 25, bro, was my learning years. You know, I had some legal issues. I've had some relationship issues. I've had some straight up man moments where you learn just to find yourself as a man and who you want to be. And
Right.
from 21 to 24, I also learned how to cope, bro. Like how to really stop indulging so much in what I would call the dark side of life, sitting there drinking every single day and having this idea that is acceptable. And, you know, if you watch Boys in the Hood, you can see the scene right there where the dad is talking to Trey and he's telling him about they want us to kill her. Hey, he may be talking about black people in that instance, but it goes for every race. They want us to hit up the liquor store every day and go get a beer, get our cigarettes. They want us to be on the block doing this. And what can we do? We could be better. And we could show them. It doesn't matter what race, it doesn't matter what color or what age you learn that lesson, but I feel like everybody needs to learn that lesson. You know what I mean?
Bro, the hood is a hood. Like the hood don't got like a color. Like people look at me, they think white, and I get it. Some people look at me and think European. Not what I don't get, but whatever it is, what it is. Like I'm Mexican, bro, and I'm what they call a nosavo kid. Like I don't speak a lick of Spanish.
I heard your last one. You put some Spanish in there, bro.
See, but that's the thing is like people don't know this, and this isn't about me, but like Spanish was actually my first language.
What?
Yeah, which is why I have a difficult time with like certain enunciations.
Okay.
Because like my first language, the thing is that I just got stopped. That's a whole different story.
Yeah,
but what I'm getting at is that right now where I'm from, my family still stays out there. And there's a liquor store on every major intersection. Mm-hmm. And then you go deeper into the street, there's a liquor store at the corner, smaller liquor store at the corner, right? Like, to me, it's just like, I'm not saying the government puts shit, I'm not trying to put my tinfoil hat on there, but like, it's almost like people say, okay, I know this business will be successful in this area, therefore I'm going to put it there. And I think that's, I understand it because you're trying to feed your family, but at the same time, I'm disappointed, right? Yeah. Because we could be putting libraries in these areas, right? Yep. We could be putting daycares in these areas. We could be putting things in these areas to help people, right? And to your point, or to what our point is, I don't see color when I think of like the place I came from. You know, I've seen white people there. I've seen Indian people there. I've seen my own race there, right? I think that we would be much better as people if we stop saying, "Oh, he's this and he's that." Like, bro, this ain't prison. Yeah. This ain't like the 40s no more, bro. We're in 2025. Like, AI is here. Yeah. We got to get to the next spot. We're not going to get to the next spot if we start classifying people as their race or whatever, you know?
And on that note, I don't want to get too into it because we could go down the rabbit hole.
Oh, bro, I'm digging.
I'll tell you right now that I am one of those people who, like, them business owners, bro, they're falling victim to a bigger agenda here. Why is there smoke shops now replacing, you know, we can't have guns in California like that no more. But now you could go down the street and see 10 smoke shops. And guess what, man? I'm going to be straight up when I say this. Them smoke shops sell kids vapes. They'll be, you know what I mean, bro? Like, some of them do, some of them don't. And a lot of them are doing the casino games now. And we're all falling victim to these different strategies for the bigger agenda, and I am one of those people who truly believes that, so I try to stay out that type of circle, stay out that way, and I try to, like, when I have a chance, inform people of, you know, you are wasting your money sometimes betting, or you're wasting your money on this, and you're gonna go get another vape, right? So why would you even start? You know what I mean?
That's facts.
Like, hey, come on, guys, and I fall victim to things myself. You feel me? Sometimes I like to have a cigar, sometimes I like to have a beer, but that doesn't mean that it's a day-to-day ritual or day-to-day routine for me, and I feel like that's how we beat the bigger agenda. You know
absolutely, bro. Like, they can't control you if you can't be controlled, right? So, like, if you have self-control of, like, oh, you know what, like, I ain't going, like, me personally, I love food. If someone orders Domino's pizza, I ain't gotta wax the whole box. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I can have one slice and say that's it. Yeah. So what I'm saying is they could put the liquor store there. We can't change the program unless we change the program. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, people only put things there that work numbers wise. And I'm gonna give you an example outside of our little rabbit hole, right? Content creation, I heard someone say the other day, and you let me know if you agree with this. It's no longer social media It's interest media. So what that means is back in the day, you used to like, all you had to do is be consistent. I post a lot. This is Speedy, right? He posts all the time. It's like, damn, I got to follow this guy. Like he's posting stuff. That's where I come from, that era, right? Now it's, okay, what are they talking about? It has to fit into a certain box. If they're not talking about something that I'm not interested in, I don't care who this person is, right? So what I'm getting at is if we all change what we're interested in, they have no choice. And when I say they, I'm talking about every company.
Yeah.
They have no choice but to adjust what they're doing.
So my response to that would be, I hear both sides of the argument, but I will say, like, for someone smaller like me, and I consider myself small, I may have 1.3 following, but to me that is just a number. I'll still do what I do no matter what. Right. But I feel like for me it's more of a, you said it was social versus what?
Interest.
Now, yeah, I think it's more of a social thing for me. Okay. People sometimes aren't interested in my videos, and it don't hurt me, but I'm still doing it for the social aspect of things, because the type of content creation I'm doing is to expose what's going on around me.
Oh,
and
facts.
it doesn't need to be tailored towards someone's interest, at least in my eyes. It doesn't need to be, but I do understand where people say that, because sometimes there's only content creators doing what they know will interest people, and I think that's where you're losing the genuine, the genuine content creators and the people that are like actually out here creating content. They'll forever live on, but that type of fake stuff and stuff, that's why you see sometimes content creators fall off within a year, and I would never take that route, but I see people do it all the time, and
I couldn't agree with you more, bro. I could not agree with you more. That's exactly why I do these videos, man, because like, I do video. It's funny. I make videos outside of the interviews, that I know a majority of people, quote unquote, don't care about. Yeah. But so when I say interest media, I'm not saying in the way we should make content. I'm saying that the way your content is pushed. You know what I'm saying? So like, all right, for example, you got Twitter or X? Okay.
I'm not a fan. I'm not
either. Yeah. But what it used to be is I follow these people, I get their content, right? They might retweet somebody. I say, oh, okay, no, I see you. I follow you. Now it's if I click one tweet about Drake, right? I see a whole bunch of Drake tweets, right? I click one tweet about, I don't know, Kamala Harris. I see a bunch of Kamala Harris tweets. It's like, it's taking the things that you click on and making that everything about you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Fucking spam calls, man. So I guess what I'm getting at is, you don't do that. And I want to know in this era, like, how do you stay true to your content? Well, actually, sorry. For the people watching, tell us all the content you make, because it's not just music.
Yeah, hey man, I cover a lot of city events. I cover a lot like City of Series or Modesto events, stuff like that. I do car shows. I do boxing events. I do like rapper events. Sometimes I get called out to different things like cannabis clubs even, or really anything as long as it's in my area, I'm there. Or okay. I try to be. And that isn't to do content creation. The first thing I'm there for is to support. I want to be able to say, hey, SpeedyFromDa9 made a stop here. You guys should make a stop there too. Or, I've been here, I've done this. You guys need to come join the movement and join the wave,
Right. That's facts, bro. That's facts. So now, the 9, right? So 2001 to 2005, 25, you talk about a lot of learning. What is Speedy doing now?
Now I make music still from home. I have a home studio. I do all my content creation from home. I rock with a phone and a gimbal, bro. I have cameras and I do my thing with those, but I feel most comfortable with the phone, and I just like to make music. I like to go to church. I like to go to all these local events and try to uplift the community. I do have plans, and I can't say that they're solid right now, but I do have plans of joining the military. I'm working out with the Army. I do my whole thing with them, and that's the biggest thing. People, like you said, you see my content everywhere. The reason I'm doing that is because one day I might be gone for 6 years. Right. So the way I see it is I'm going to be pushing as much as I can until I'm gone, whether that be 1 song a month, 2 songs a month, or 4 videos a week, or whatever it is. You feel me? So
damn.
my flame was lit, and I'm just trying to keep it lit and keep it going. You know what I mean?
I respect that a lot, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it takes courage, not just to sign up for the military, but to say, you know what, I have this dream and this is what I'm doing right now, but I have these aspirations as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, one day I might not be around to make this content, so y'all enjoy while you can.
Yeah.
How can people get involved, man? Like, how can people help out? What do they got to do? Because I think the 209 is very talented.
Are you talking about help out me or help out the community?
The community, bro.
What I would say is first get tapped in. You need to go to some city council meetings. You need to meet your local city officials. You also need to go and vote. And you also need to get involved, not just with the events that you want to go to, but get involved in everything. You're going to be there to support your city, then be there to support them with everything. And, you know, be mindful of what you're doing and also be mindful of everyone around you. And what I say by that is maybe don't show up with all your friends, or maybe don't show up with your whole group or whatever.
The entourage.
You know what I mean? Go represent yourself and let people know why you're there. And that oftentimes puts you in a better position because, you know, you're one-on-one connection and you're telling them, I'm here to do this content for this. How can I help you? What would make you guys look good? That's what I do, at least in most circumstances that I'm in, is I like to introduce myself and present myself in, you know, a presentable manner and let them know, like, with me, you're good, bro. Like, you don't have to worry about nothing. Or if you do want to help me out financially, you can. But if I'm here, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I respect that, man. Where can the people follow you at?
You can follow me on YouTube. I got a vlog page. It's called SpeedyFromDa9 Vlogs. Or you can check me out on Instagram at SpeedyFromDa9. You can also find my music on every streaming service available at SpeedyFromDa9.
All right. Before I let you go, I'm going to rapid fire some questions for you about your music, okay? What is your most slept on song?
My most slept on song would probably be Through the Rain.
Through the Rain, okay.
Yeah, if you guys get a chance, go check it out, listen to it. That's where you could really understand who I am and get a feeling for, you know, I talk about everything in that song, bro. It's a 5-6 minute song.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song?
Oh, I got a couple favorite songs, but, you know, my fan favorite, which really struck me because I never expected it to be a fan favorite, is Better Days.
Better Days, okay.
That was the one.
I heard that one.
Yeah, that was the one where, like, when I got into the stew, I knew right away, like,
this is the one.
This is it, bro. This is what's gonna keep me going. Every time I slap that song when I have a good day, I slap it when I have a bad day. It just reminds me of who I am. You know what I mean?
Right. All right. My final one for you. What is an old song of yours that you wish you could redo knowing what you know now?
Hey, bro, I'm gonna redo it, but off top. All my fans say off top, bro. I don't condone this behavior. Go do it safely. But I was on shrooms and I did a whole song, the whole beat, the whole everything, and within a shroom trip. And off top, it was a song that helped me heal, bro. It made me really think about lyrics and how they could affect people. And when I put that song out, man, I wish I would have known what I was doing because, bro, that song is so good and it's near and dear to my heart. And I hope everyone gets a chance to go and listen to it.
Well, all right. Well, y'all go stream Speedy from the 9.
Yeah.
Speedy, I really appreciate not just you being on the show, but everything that you're doing for the 209 as half my home, because I like to consider myself a man from two cities.
Okay.
I appreciate what you're doing for the 9, bro. And you know what? I've never heard it be called the 9. I'm not going to lie to you.
Hey, I like to bring it. A lot of people say that, and I like to bring it to light. You know, hey, we go by a couple different things, but the new generation, guess what we doing it? We calling it the 9, baby. We out here. We out here, and we doing it live, man. And I appreciate the opportunity for letting me come and say what I needed to say and do what I needed to do, brother. It's great to be here.
Of course, bro. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.